Hey YouTube, it's Nathan here. I am just making a video. I had gotten a request from someone on the Gear Talk forum asking about how I use my wah pedal as an ambient device, which I mentioned that I did that on the Praise and Worship forum. So I'm just here making a video about how I accomplished that. So here's my guitar. It's a 9-degree Ibanez Artstar. And just here's the dry signal. This is my bridge pickup. And then neck pickup. And this is kind of how I accomplish it. First, well, I've got 4 pedals that I use primarily, and sometimes I'll switch on a 5th. But for this setting, I've got my I guess the important one I should start with is the TC Electronic Hall of Fame reverb. Got it set to the mod setting. I have my effects level to about 3 o'clock, my decay to about 3 o'clock, and my tone to about 9 o'clock. So this gives me a really huge decay, and most of the signal that you hear coming out of the reverb pedal is the reverb itself and not the dry guitar signal, and then it's a really dark reverb. And then I've got my pre-delay set to long, so there's kind of a little bit of a gap there. So here's what that sounds like. Then I've got my delay pedal. I'm using a Vox Satriani Time Machine set to the analog setting because I can't afford anything better right now. So what it is I got it set to lo-fi. It's got low level. It's about, what is that, 1030, and then feedback set to about 9 again. And I just tap out the slowest version of the beat that I can find, whether that's not the, well, you can always find a slower version, but the slowest reasonable version. So I'm setting at about and this is how that sounds. Low level, nice and long feedback. Here's my chorus. It's just a cheap Digitech multi-chorus. I think it's the X series or something. It's just the cheapest that I could get at the time. I'm looking to get an MXR. That's another conversation. The voice is set till about 2 o'clock. Level is at about 11. Speed is 1030. Depth is 9 o'clock again. So here it's nice, slow, and deep. This is what it sounds like. So yeah, and then I just switch on all of those pedals in addition with the wah pedal to get the kind of sound that I'm going for. So here's kind of how I use it. This is the bridge pickup setting. So the way I'm using it, I'm really just setting it as kind of a tone sweep. The way it works is you let in, the wah pedal, what it is a frequency sweep throughout the entire spectrum. So the way I use it is the guitar resonates really well in kind of the middle to upper range. When you get into mixing and stuff, you'll notice that a lot. So I'll keep it at the low heel position, but then whenever you put it in the toe position, it adds a lot more, you can get a lot more of the actual guitar sound coming through. So it's not necessarily a volume swell, but it kind of is more of a tone swell, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So if the higher you put it, the more of the actual important frequencies of the guitar can come through. So when you use that in conjecture with the modulation on the chorus pedal and on the reverb pedal, sometimes you'll get frequencies that overlap, and that's when you get that feedbacky sound, and then your delay pedal just echoes it and echoes it and echoes it. So it's really cool to use it that way. So here's same thing. This is the neck pickup. So yeah, that one's good too. It's you have to use that one more sparingly because since it's at a lower register, different frequencies resonate, so it's just kind of a different sound. So that's mostly how I use it. However, yesterday my church played the church by Elevation Worship. I think it's by Elevation Worship, and we played it in Big Church that morning. And there's a lead line, and it's let me see if I can. I think it's like, yeah, it sounds like this. This is dry. They've got a tremolo pedal, I guess, or something like that. My worship pastor thinks it's a tremolo pedal. It might be super fast picking or something. I don't know. But in any case, sometimes I'll use for that song, I will use my setup that way with that tone. Except for that, since it's a lead line, I'll flip on my overdrive. So for my overdrive, I'm using my TC Electronic Nova Drive, using the green side of it. My overdrive's at probably about 2 o'clock. Level is equal with the guitar amp, and tone is at about 1030 or so, and then the mix is completely overdrive, signal only. So this is what that sounds like through the bridge pickup. And this is neck pickup. So let's flip on the pedals and I'll show you kind of how I use it for that song. So that was bridge pickup, here is neck pickup. So yeah, it's a lot of a bigger sound. Since it's overdrive, it kind of drives those frequencies more, so whenever you get the resonation, it's huge in comparison. Um, so the biggest thing that I can say is don't use it like that all the time. You have to be sparing with the way you use your effects. And then if you use your overdrive that way as a rhythm thing, then it really starts to. I mean, it was already getting really feedbacky at the same time with just one sound coming through, one note coming through. So if you do a full chord, then all of those other frequencies will come and it will just resonate like crazy. Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I use everything. And another thing you can do is use a semi hollow body guitar because then you get some of the natural resonation from the inside of your guitar. So if you can play around with that, then you'll find some other cool tones that you can use. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or leave me a comment or something, and I'll try to get back to you. Awesome, thank you.